So Jacob trouble is 7 week. Apocalypse, the end of the world, the end of the 7th week. And after that, this there will be another week, the 8th, that of righteousness, and a sword will be given to it, so that the righteous judgment may be executed on those who do wrong, and the sinners will be handed over into the hands of the righteous. And at its end, they will acquire houses because of their righteousness, and a house will be built for the great King in glory forever. And after this, in the 9th week, the righteous judgment will be revealed to the whole world. So, which means the whole world is already written down for destruction. And no more evil, no more iniquity. So the man that the humans, the man that exists still alive is because their righteousness. Okay, so they will look to the path of uprightness. And after this, in the 10th week, in the 7th part, there will be an eternal judgment that will be executed on the watchers, and the great eternity heaven that will spring from the midst of the angels. And the first heaven will vanish and pass away, and a new heaven will appear, and all the powers of heaven will shine forever with a sevenfold light. It came to pass, when Enoch had told his son that the angels took him onto their wings and bore him up onto the first heaven and placed him on the clouds. And there I looked, and again I looked higher and saw the ether. And they placed me on the first heaven and showed me a very great sea, greater than the earthly sea. So the sea is ether. They brought before my face the elders and rulers of the stellar orders, and showed me 200 angels who rule the stars and their services to the heavens, and fly with their wings, and come round all those who sail. And here I looked down and saw the treasure houses of the snow, and the angels who keep their terrible storehouses, and the clouds whence they come out and into which they go. They showed me the treasure house of the dew, like oil of the olive, and the appearance of its form as of all the flowers of the earth. Further, many angels guarding the treasure houses of these things, and how they are made to shut and open. So the first heaven is contained ether, is a very great sea, and then the angels, 200 of them, control the snow and clouds, the dew at the same time. So when the first heaven passed away, which means no more snow, no more clouds, no more dew, and the ether of the first heaven mixed with the earthly ether. We are breathing the ether, and in the Bible, when God set a firmament, divided the great sea below the heaven and above the heaven, the sea is not water, it's ether. I, Enoch, according to that which appeared to me in the heavenly vision, and that which I know from the words of the holy angels, and understanding from the tablets of heaven. Tablets. This word is borrowed from Book of Enoch. And Enoch then began to speak from the books and said, I was born the seventh in the first week, while justice and righteousness still lasted. The end of the first week. Enoch. And after me, in the second week, great injustice will arise, and deceit will have sprung up, and in it there will be the first end, and in it a man will be saved. And after it has ended, iniquity will grow, and he will make a law for the sinners. Noah is the man will be saved. And after this, in the third week, at its end, a man will be chosen as the plant of righteous judgment, and after him will come the plant of righteousness forever. Should be Jacob, because Jacob Chan, his name is Israel at the same time. After this, in the fourth week, at its end, vision of the righteous and holy will be seen, and a law for all generations, and an enclosure will be made for them. Moses made help God to write the law for all generations. And after this, in the fifth week, at its end, a house of glory and sovereignty will be built forever. So, possess the promised land. Joseph is the tribe of Judah. And after this, in the sixth week, all those who live in it will be blind, and the hearts of them all, lacking wisdom, will sink into impiety. And in it, a man will ascend, and as its end, the house of sovereignty will be burnt with fire, and in it, the whole race of the chosen root will be scattered. Jesus is the man will ascend. And after this, in the seventh week, an apostate generation will arise, and many will be its deeds, but all its deeds will be apostasy, which is right now, the end times. And at its end, the chosen righteous from the eternal plant of righteousness will be chosen, to whom will be given sevenfold teaching concerning his whole creation. And now I say to you, my children, love righteousness and walk in it, for the paths of righteousness are worthy of acceptance, but the paths of iniquity will quickly be destroyed and vanished. And to certain men from a future generation, the paths of wrongdoing and of death will be revealed, and they will keep away from them and will not follow them. And now I say to you, the righteous do not walk in the wicked path, or in wrongdoing, or in the paths of death, and do not draw near to them, or you may be destroyed. But seek and choose for yourself righteousness and a life that is pleasing, and walk in the paths of peace, so that you may live and prosper. And hold my words firmly in the thoughts of your heart, and do not let them be erased from your heart, for I know that sinners will tempt men to debase wisdom, and no place will be found for it, and temptation will in no way decrease. Woe to those who build iniquity and found deceit for them, for they will quickly be thrown down and will not have peace. Woe to those who build their houses with sin, for from their whole foundation they will be thrown down, and by the sword they shall fall. And those who acquire gold and silver will quickly be destroyed in the judgment. Woe to you, you rich, for you have trusted in your riches, but from your riches you will depart, for you did not remember the Most High in the days of your riches. You have committed blasphemy and iniquity, and are ready for the days of the outpouring of blood, and for the day of darkness, and for the day of the great judgment. The dream visions. And now, my son Methuselah, I will show you all the visions that I saw, recounting them before you. 2 visions I saw before I took a wife, and neither one was like the other. For the first time, when I learned the art of writing, and for the second time, before I took your mother, I saw a terrible vision. And concerning this, I made supplication to the Lord. I had lain down in the house of my grandfather Malalel, when I saw in a vision how heaven was thrown down and removed, and it fell upon the earth. And when it fell upon the earth, I saw how the earth was swallowed up in a great abyss, and mountains were suspended on mountains, and hills sank down upon hills, and tall trees were torn up by their roots, and were thrown down and sank into the abyss. And then speech fell into my mouth, and I raised my voice to cry out and said, the earth is destroyed. And my grandfather Malalel roused me, since I lay near him, and said to me, why did you cry out so, my son, and why do you mourn so? And I recounted to him the whole vision which I had seen, and he said to me, a terrible thing you have seen, my son. Your dream vision concerns the secrets of all the sin of the earth. It is about to sink into the abyss and be utterly destroyed. And now, my son, rise and make supplication to the Lord of glory. For you are faithful, that a remnant may be left on the earth, and that he may not wipe out the whole earth. My son, from heaven all this will come upon the earth, and upon the earth there will be great destruction. And then I rose and prayed, and made supplication, and wrote my prayer down for the generations of eternity. And I will show everything to you, my son Methuselah. And I went out below and saw the sky, and the sun rising in the east, and the moon setting in the west, and some stars, and the whole earth, and everything as he knew it since the beginning. Then I blessed the Lord of judgment, and ascribed majesty to him. For he makes the sun come out from the windows of the east, so that it ascends and rises on the face of heaven, and follows the path which has been shown to it. And I raised my hands in righteousness, and I blessed the Holy and Great One. And I spoke with the breath of my mouth, and with the tongue of flesh, which God has made for men born of flesh, so that they might speak with it. And he has given them breath, and a tongue, and a mouth, so that they might speak with them. Blessed are you, O Lord King, and great and powerful in your majesty, Lord of the whole creation of heaven, King of kings, and God of the whole world, and your kingly authority and your sovereignty and your majesty will last forever and forever and ever, and your power for all generations, and all the heavens are your throne forever, and the whole earth your footstool forever and ever and ever. For you made and you rule everything, and nothing is too hard for you, and no wisdom escapes you. It does not turn away from your throne, nor from your presence, and you know and see and hear everything, and nothing is hidden from you. For you see everything. And now the angels of your heaven are doing wrong, and your anger rests upon the flesh of man until the day of the great judgment. And now, O God, Lord and great King, I entreat and ask that you will fulfill my prayer to leave me a posterity on earth, and not to wipe out all the flesh of men and make the earth empty so that there is destruction forever. And now, my Lord, wipe out from the earth the flesh that has provoked your anger, but the flesh of righteousness and uprightness establish as a seed bearing plants forever, and do not hide your face from the prayer of your servants, O Lord.